Coming right up for ONTV Update, we have student stress on campus and what a teacher and student have to say about it. Are students being put too much pressure?
From the BMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is ONTV Update.
Welcome to ONTV Update. Today is March 19th, 2021. I'm Zoe Haney, and coming up, we have a show full of news just for you. Throughout the beginning of 2020 and now 2021, student stress has risen significantly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, students and faculty are faced with a constant stress from online classes and a vacant campus. Hello, Zoe Haney here, coming from Onondaga campus. From the beginning of the spring semester, the amount of stress put on students has increased due to the change in lifestyle and the increased need for flexibility on their part. NYU.edu stated that 55% of students nationally have claimed that their stress comes from the academic in nature. Then 54% of students claim to be the stress that is affecting their social lives as well. The change from a packed campus now to a ghost town, severely affecting their mental health. With stress rising within colleges, I asked Amy Klein, a health teacher here at OCC, what she thinks.
I do believe that many students have sort of gotten caught into that being isolated and have sort of retract and don't want to come out of their room and have kind of gotten used to not coming out, and that's going to make that lack of social interaction, I really do believe, adds to stress, even self-esteem, you know, the way they feel about themselves.
Jenna Carpenter, an art major here at OCC, talks about some of her stress.
A lot has definitely changed. Well, I think everyone knows that a lot has changed. But I think the difference between like virtual learning, even like high flex learning, and what used to be regular learning is definitely a lot different, because I feel like we definitely have more work in virtual and high flex, and it's just stressful.
Well, hopefully as the school year goes on, the stress will not. Well, even though there have been a lot of stressors from 2020 and 2021, students are still carrying on their education with determination and perseverance. Now, because of New York's handling of the coronavirus, Governor Andrew Cuomo has decided to reopen all movie theaters throughout New York County. They will be operating at a 25%, no more than 50 people for each screening. The theaters will need to install the MEVR 13 air filter and health compliances like hand sanitizer and temperature checks. The second biggest theater chain, Regal, has yet to comment on when they are reopening. Down in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott has decided to become the first state during the vaccination process to lift the mask mandate and having all businesses open at 100% capacity. The decision has garnered criticism from other governors, the CDC, the public, etc., saying that it's too early to make this move. And Austin is keeping the mask mandate to have business to operate 25 to 50% compatibility, despite the governor's order. Governor Andrew Cuomo has been staying active by opening vaccination sites all across the state of New York. So now a New York site has been opened down at the New York State Fair. Now thousands of appointments will be opening up, and they will be vaccinated from Johnson & Johnson that only requires one dose, unlike the Pfizer requires 2 doses. This New York site, like the Yankee Stadium and the Javits Center, will be opening 24 hours a day. Coming up, we'll be giving you an update for the upcoming weather forecast. Also, students have been online for a year. How has learning changed for students when we come back from break? ONTV Update.
The vast majority of the programs that we have are getting students ready to have skills that will transfer right into being able to go to work.
It's exciting to see that, yeah, they're definitely, the jobs are in demand for these different occupations.
Most of this stuff is going to be located right here in Whitney Hall. Certainly applied technology and all our labs are located over here in Whitney Hall. You can just reach out to our school office directly.
I love working at the library. I've been a librarian for many, many years. Love helping students. I love the moment, especially here at OCC, when I'm assisting a student who might be doing research and they're just like, say, I never knew about that. I never knew you could do that. And that's such a great moment because we have such a huge and wonderful amount of resources available to students that many of them don't really know how to access.
Finals are coming up fast, and Coulter Library is ready. We have lots of new computers, several new study rooms, and extended hours for finals review sessions. If you're stressed about that final exam or frantically working to finish that term paper, look no further. Take advantage of our subject resources and prepare for the end of a successful semester here at Coulter Library.
I think OCC is a great choice for students, especially if they're not exactly sure what they want to do. I developed the Geospatial Science and Technology program as a way to introduce students to that world that I discovered, learning how to make maps with a computer, collecting data and analyzing that. And we still have a lot of industry connections, and that's always good for trying to find internships or even full-time employment.
I think working with the students and hearing the stories of how successful students are, and lately I've got a lot of, being able to write letters of recommendations to students that are going on to a next program, and hearing about what they've done at their next school or in their next career move. I think that's hearing the success stories and really working with the students and getting to know the students. Sometimes my office is a revolving door because students want to come in and talk, which is great. So that's why I'm here.
Living at OCC is a great experience academically and socially. One of my first impressions of OCC is that it was a bigger than normal community college, more like a private school. All the academic resources are within my fingertips. I can go to the library, do homework outside of the dorms, and then come back and have a nice social life without being stressed. Smaller class size allows me to interact with the professor more. OCC also has a great education with an affordable tuition for anybody of any age.
Welcome back to ONTV Update. I'm Zoe Haney. Autumn Baker is here with me to discuss the weather. What's the weather looking like today, Autumn?
Thanks, Zoe. According to the Weather Channel, it looks like we are going to be getting some warmer temperatures in the upcoming week. But unfortunately, starting out today, we will be having a high of only 34 with some partly cloudy skies. Tonight, we will be dropping down to about 19 degrees. We will be expecting it to slowly begin to warm up as we head into the weekend. Saturday is going to be high of 47 and a low of 25, while being mainly sunny throughout the day. Sunday, we are looking at a high of 58 and a low of 31 with mostly clear skies. Heading into Monday with a high of 64 and a low of 35, also mostly clear skies. Tuesday will be a high of 65 and a low of 42 with some partly cloudy skies. And Wednesday, we'll have a high of 61 and a low of 40 with some rain showers throughout the afternoon. Hopefully, we will continue to see this pattern of nice weather in the weeks ahead. College students all over often fall behind in their classes when the weather starts to heat up because they would rather be outside instead of being in the classrooms. I sat down with Chuck Wilbur, who is an Onondaga Community College success coach, to talk about the matter.
With spring approaching, students often struggle attending classes or staying on top of their work. Chuck Wilbur says he is eager to help in any way he can.
I think the biggest thing is just reminding them while you're here and staying the course, because it's easy to be distracted. When it is nice out, you'd rather go hang out with the friends downtown or wherever you're at. But this is, I think you just got to keep on reminding that you got to have your goals in place and stick to course.
Chuck understands why students are struggling, and he can't say he doesn't feel the same way.
But when all of a sudden the sun breaks, you actually look forward to jumping out of the house and leaving and going to do something, and driving up here with the windows down a little bit with the sun baking on you a little bit. I mean, it changes your mood. It changes your energy, and you just look forward to being outside and doing something.
With the weather starting to warm up, students can come to the Learning Center, which is located in the Gordon Student Center behind me in room 202. For more information about their services and what they can do to help you with your classes, visit sunyocc.edu.
Onondaga Community College student Taryn True says she's struggling to keep focused on her schoolwork.
I think it's definitely more challenging to be inside working on homework and watching lectures rather than being outside and doing things that I enjoy, like running or just hanging out with friends.
College students can get support on campus in many ways, and it is important to ask or seek help when you need it.
If you are looking for help in your classes or need some guidance, the Learning Center is open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 until 8 p.m. Fridays, 8:30 until 4 p.m. Saturdays, 11 to 3 p.m. and Sundays, 2 until 6. Visit sunyotc.edu for more information about the Learning Center.
Approved the American Rescue Plan on March 11th, which is a $1.9 trillion economic stimulus bill. According to whitehouse.gov, the new bill will recover the United States' health and economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The bill includes $1,400 stimulus check for adults that make $75,000 or less and extends the $300 per week for jobless aid and supplement until September 6th. At the $1,400 stimulus check should be accessible by March 17th for those who direct deposits were their IRS accounts. Coming up, we dive into the origins and history of the game lacrosse and how it affects into Onondaga's history. COVID-19 has been around for 1 year, and so have online classes. Is this leading to a lack of motivation on students? We will tell you coming up right after the break. You're watching ONTV Update.
To my knowledge, every single person that's teaching in the program is still presently actively working in the field. Every single one of these professors is an expert in their craft. If it wasn't for this department, if it wasn't for people like Mark Ballard or Mike Kaminsky or Magic on the radio side of things, 0 Point and myself, I wouldn't be where I am today.
In the sound recording program, I was asked to develop 4 courses and teach those 4 courses based in studio recording. So learning the basics of microphones and interface boxes and computer software and cabling and all that, and the process of just tracking musical performances and then mixing them. It gives those students who are interested in sound a little bit more of a broader education in how we can apply sound recording.
My classes aren't too bad. As a business major, they're kind of difficult, so I can always come here and get some help, or if I have any questions about my student profile or anything about that, there's always help here. They took me through like the list of options of courses that I could choose, and I picked the best ones that I think were suited for me. Honestly, without OCC and the help of the Student Center, I just wouldn't really be where I am today.
The School of Art, Design, Media, and Music is the best school.
So there's architecture and interior design. There is broadcast media and communications. There is art, photography, and music and sound recording.
We're a little different. We're very artistic, we're very creative.
A lot of the school is about advising, transfer, career building, and community, like having a place for people to go.
My favorite part about teaching criminal justice is the conversations I end up in with my students. We are talking about tough stuff, justice and fairness. What's different here than other places? The commitment of the faculty and staff in leading students towards their goals.
So Career Services does a variety of different things. We help students from day one. So exploring options within majors or careers, we help with that. We help with guiding them anything that they need throughout their schooling here. So helping them get job shadows and informational interviews, internships, volunteer experience, and then ultimately helping them for whatever's after OCC.
Back to ONTV, I'm Larry Pilon. This year at OCC, the college lacrosse team will not be playing this year due to COVID-19. One of the most successful teams at Onondaga will be one of many to miss the 2021 season. When we look back though, lacrosse is one of the oldest American sports still played today. Let's take a look how lacrosse even came to be in America and how it impacts its coaches, players, and community. Lacrosse has recently become a known game around the globe. Many do not know the origins lie right here in Onondaga. A college lacrosse player shares his experiences with the game.
When playing a game with a really deep cultural origin, it's really important to kind of become one with the game and think about how it's been played in the past.
While many do not know the history, lacrosse, or the medicine game, was created by the creator, a game between birds and animals against the land for the creator's enjoyment. Former OCC lacrosse coach Chuck Wilbur digresses into the sacred sport.
It's more than a game. You know, for a lot of the Native community, it's life. It's next to religion and family, and you know, lacrosse I think is in that culture. So. Yeah, so I think it means a little bit more compared to a lot of other sports. Obviously, every sport has a great meaning behind it, but lacrosse is a little bit more unique due to the Native American background.
Lacrosse, or the stick, known among some as the medicine game, originated in the Native American tribal communities as a way to handle conflicts with less bloodshed and to heal and strengthen one another, families and communities. The Haudenosaunee, or Iroquois Native Americans, fought to be recognized as a lacrosse team and later reinstated as an official team in international amateur lacrosse after the Iroquois were banned in 1880. There are many different positive energies that come from the game and help players, no matter what race, become one with the game and grow within their life and family.
When I played lacrosse, it definitely helped me connect with my teammates better. It definitely helped me form connections and relationships, and that's something I'm really thankful for.
Lacrosse will always be in the life and blood of the Iroquois and in the Onondaga lacrosse team. From OCC, Larry Pilon, ONTV. Chuck Wilbur states that this year OCC's team will hopefully be playing next season from COVID-19. Also, according to the CBC, the Iroquois Nationals have been excluded from the upcoming 2022 World Games. Qualifications revolved around the final placement in the 2017 and 2018 games, but had other troubles then after the Canadian government failed to recognize the Haudenosaunee passports as a sovereign nation. And if you can't seem to find a consistent schedule to stick to at the gym, there are other things you can do around the house during your downtime to stay healthy and active. Raise your arms up high as you can before diving down and touching your toes. Stretching a lot before your muscles, before any workout, is very important. Continue to do 10 sets of 10 push-ups and sit-ups with a 1-minute plank between each exercise. Repeat steps 10 times, 5 days a week for maximum results. Finish with 10 minutes of jumping rope, and don't forget to stay hydrated. While working out at the gym may seem hard to accomplish, there are rules and regulations that are easy to follow to ensure your safety at the YMCA. First, there are 2 mandatory health screenings to take your temperature. Then staff will record where you will go and will be during your time. Your mask must be on at all times, and every other machine is open for 6 feet social distancing. There is a midday deep clean from 2 to 3 p.m. to deep clean every machine, and the YMCA asks that you wipe down and sanitize every machine before and after use. Contact them with any questions at 315-498-2699.
Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced that over 6 million people have gotten their COVID vaccine doses, and according to President Biden, we are on track to have enough vaccines for 300 million Americans by the end of July. But as students have been taking online classes for a year now, according to the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrations, 76% of undergraduates surveyed identified the lack of motivation for online learning as the biggest obstacle. ONTV Updates' Santino Aclares talks to a local public school teacher about how students have been affected.
As the COVID-19 pandemic is still averaging around 6,000 cases a day in New York State, it can be difficult to comprehend the impact the pandemic has had on students with online classes. Onondaga Hills school teacher Christina Golotto says that she has seen a change in her students throughout the pandemic.
I've noticed that students who previously may have been well-rounded students and doing well have slipped in achievements and are less motivated to work.
School schedules have changed due to the pandemic.
The new guidelines from the Onondaga Health Department have decided that instead of students being 6 feet apart in class, they can now be 3 feet apart.
The Onondaga County Health Department has announced new guidelines for in-person learning to ultimately get more students into the classrooms. But as schools are still getting prepared for the new guidelines, Sophia Barnes says that she is not as focused learning from home.
It's a lot harder to learn at home. I have a lot of distractions at my house, and it's just difficult.
Sophia says that it's hard to have that social connection that she once had due to online classes, but the support from her family is helping her stay on track with schoolwork. Sophia hopes to go back to school soon, but Christina hopes students go back for the right reasons.
I think the goal here for education is to really make sure that students get exactly what they need, that they're healthy and they're motivated and they're successful.
Getting students back to school is one goal, but making sure students are safe is also vital. From Whitney Applied Technology Center, Santino Acaraz, ONTV Update.
Christina says that new guidelines from the state to let social distancing be reduced to 3 feet seems very promising and will bring students back into the classroom, which is what she wants ultimately as an educator. Coming up, we are going to see how the fitness business YMCA has managed to keep operating during the ongoing pandemic. All that and more right here on ONTV Update. On March 21st,
look at what's happened here with COVID. Look at how you've seen other schools where infection rates have been very high, and here they've been extremely low. That's because the students here are really dedicated to doing the right thing and to learn and work toward that degree and work toward a better life through higher education. I think a community college is the perfect answer to everyone's educational needs.
One thing that I love about my job is the people here at OCC. Students definitely need assistance with career exploration, and that's one of our expertise. So making sure that the students know what they want to do and any way that we can support it. I love working with the students. I love working with the faculty and staff. I like that every day is a little bit different.
Recently, the college has developed a new sound recording program, and we partnered with the music department, and 4 of the courses in that program are offered through the BMC program. BMC 225 and 226 focus on live sound reinforcement and recording. So a lot of students who are interested in if they have a band or if they perform live, what's the best way to get their sound to be optimized for their audience?
This can be in any major. They can have disabilities. I have students who do have disabilities and work with another department in addition to me. I have students who are veterans. I have students that work full-time. And I'm just a source of assistance for them to get them through the college process, that's all.
Everybody like on the edge of their seats yelling. People want to see you do good. People actually coming out to watch me play. So it definitely give me an incentive to play hard, get some buckets. I guess it's one of the top JUCOs in the country. It's a good program to get your name out there. I like to go by like the sky is the limit. Like you can do anything you put your mind to. Like I didn't really know I was gonna break a record. I just kind of figured like if I was to put all in the work in, you could do anything that you put your mind to. If you're gonna work hard or something, just give it your all.
Because we're a 2-year school, you're going to play right away. As a freshman, you're going to get pretty good parts, and as a sophomore, you're going to have all the best stuff. We have a lot of non-majors involved, and they can play in ensembles, they can take lessons, they can take music classes. They really could do all the music major things. There are no barriers to that. We have great equipment, we have great facilities. It's a lot of fun to be here. There's a lot of energy, and we do a lot of performing, which makes everybody kind of energetic and working towards those goals together, and it makes it a lot of fun.
On March 21st, from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m., there will be a drive-through Girl Scout cookie booth at the New York State Fairgrounds. Support local Girl Scouts during their annual cookie program. Drive up and purchase the delicious Girl Scout cookies in a safe and contactless way. Each box is $5. On March 22nd, AmeriQ will be at the Onondaga Community College to talk with students and answer some questions they may have about banking. This is a free event, and it will be held from the Gordon Student Center from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Table 9 space. On March 25th, there is a free take-home family art kits available at the Everson Museum. The kits can be picked up at the visitor's service desk in the museum. They are free and available on a first-come, first-served basis. This program runs through the remainder of March, repeating every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Welcome back to ONTV Update. I'm Zoe Haney, and with spring just around the corner, it's going to be nicer and warmer, and people are just getting ready to burn off the calories they've gained over the winter season. The gyms had some people concerned for safety. ONTV Update's Brian Clock discussed with our YMCA about the changes they've made during the ongoing pandemic.
Change is a difficult thing to inhabit, but that's what we had to do and have done for the past year now. Jeff at the YMCA, like many other businesses, had to change to save a potential spread and find a way to move forward.
Encouraged social distancing through stickers and signs throughout the facility. Every other cardio piece throughout our facility has been shut down so that we can have more than just the standard industry requirements for distance between two people.
Andrew, a volunteer at the Y, described some of the safety protocols that were put in place.
We do health screenings at the door. We do temperature checks. There's no guests allowed at this moment. And we have reduced slots for people in every area.
Before heading in to work out, make sure you sanitize yourself like this. And when you're done, make sure you get a paper towel and do that, and make sure everything's cleaned off so the next person gets on nice and safely and have a nice workout.
You know, if anybody that's on the fence, or you're struggling to exercise outside, I strongly encourage you to come check out what we have and see for yourself that there are a lot of things that are different. It's not the same gym that you had before, but there are a lot of great things that can be accomplished here, and it can be done safely.
Safely indeed, for a better tomorrow. From the SRC Arena, Brian Clark, ONTV Update.
Gyms in New York State have been the lowest in cases for testing positive for COVID. Once you enter some gyms like the Planet Fitness, check in with their app and have a temperature check before you work out. Autumn is back now with the weekend weather forecast. Autumn, how does it look?
It's looking like it is going to slowly begin to warm up as we go through the weekend. Today is a mild start to the weekend, and it looks like we are going to be only having a high of 34 with a low of 19. Saturday, we are going to reach about 47 and a low of 25. Sunday, closing out the weekend, we are going to reach nearly 60 degrees and a low of 40. Remaining sunny the whole weekend, it might not be a bad time to go outside and get some exercise or go for a nice walk.
So that's all we got for today. Thank you for joining us, and come back next Friday with more stories to report. Until this has been ONTV Update.